Good morning. Today is election eve, and the TVs and the radios are going to be bombarded with final campaign pushes. It may cause some stress and some anxiety. And I'm sad to see how people have become so divided in our nation that we're unable to have dialogue on things that we disagree with. Instead, if we disagree about something, we villainize the other person. If they don't believe like me, they must be my enemy. And that's really sad, because none of us completely agree on everything with one another. So how do we get along in our daily life, with our families, with our significant others, with our friends? I have made mention multiple times the love commandments, and the reason that I do is because I consider them so foundational to my understanding of ministry. When Jesus was asked what commandment was the most important, he said, number one is to love God above all, with all of our hearts, our minds, and our spirits. And the second is like it, to love our neighbor as ourselves. Upon these two commandments, all of the other laws hang. So I'm going to ask, what does it mean to you today to love your neighbor? In this world that is so divided, how do those of us who call ourselves Christians, Christ followers, how do we live the example of loving the neighbor? I would ask you to think about that today and tomorrow. How might we be able to unify one another by respecting the other person who I disagree with as another creation of God, made in God's image, loved by God as much as God loves me? How do I love that neighbor when I disagree with them? It can be done. I'm going to invite you, if you are so interested, this evening to light a candle at 6 o'clock in your house. No matter what time zone you happen to be in. At 6 o'clock, light a candle, and if you are open and willing, to consider saying a prayer. A prayer for our nation, a prayer for the leaders of the world, a prayer for leaders in this nation at all levels, that all would seek peace, that all would seek justice, that all would seek to unify, lift up, and support one another. And I want to remind everyone during this prayer that it's not about a prayer of, please let my party win, because God is bigger than any political party or political agenda. There is no political party or agenda that has a monopoly on God. We all recognize parts that we are in alignment with and other parts that we are not. And so I'm going to ask that God have mercy on us, that God fill our hearts with love, and that it might convict us when we are not loving our neighbors, so that we intentionally attempt to do so. I am so thankful for this God that I believe in, who's bigger than the God of the United States. He is the God of the universe. He, she, it, whatever God is. I owe my life to that God. Every breath, each moment of my day, even for the little hummingbirds that are singing their song this morning. God bless you today, and I hope that God's peace will blanket itself over you. Have a great day. Goodbye.